Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Minorities Podcast, your home for not-so-expert analysis, plenty of shit talking, and hopefully better luck for us in the new year. I'm your host, JC, your resident Titans fan. Joining me this week, you got...
Chickenwing, enjoying the playoffs from the couch, along with my dumbass brother, Cowboys fan.
Fuck you.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Fuck you.
This is unusual for me. I'm not used to, watching it.
You get used
whatever.
To it for a while, trust me.
You're right. And by the way, it's 9:52 p.m. and OU still sucks.
Yes,
They do.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Somewhere in the background, Nori is having some wonderful problems with Discord. But he's here.
I think he's getting on his phone.
I promise you, folks, he is here.
okay. Hopefully the mic fixes, we can get his introduction. Well, Rob, go ahead, man.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Rob, the resident Vikings fan this week.
Oh my god.
And
How convenient.
we appreciate y'all for joining us from wherever you are in the world, especially Germany and somewhere in Italy, I think, is the other one.
Really don't watch American football, right? So,
Hey, they're military, all right?
Okay. So,
I love Germany.
yeah.
As y'all know, I love them. Good evening. This is DJ, Longhorns fan. That's a team that knows how to win. So, Longhorns fan. We'll see y'all in the Cotton Bowl next week.
Good God. Don't remind me about how many heart attacks I had in that game. Jesus.
Yeah. 3.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
There he
I hear
is.
you. Yeah.
You want to do your intro?
Everybody should know who the MVP is by now, but I'm Nori. Super happy Giants fan because it's not impossible to make me any more miserable.
Ugh.
We're going to put
The
that
only
theory.
time you hear him miserable after a win, by the way. So, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And Phil is feeling under the weather. Don't know if he's going to join us today. Thank God the last thing I need to hear is a fucking Jags fan gloating about, well, actually winning a game. So, yeah.
He's definitely feeling under the weather if he can't come in there and talking all this shit about
Yeah.
y'all getting y'all asses beat.
Yep. Right.
Demolished.
I don't even know if the Jags
Destroyed.
ever swept the Titans in a season series, but yeah, it happened.
Destroyed.
Watching that game in the rain just told me, man, both of these teams suck.
Trash.
Watching the Colts
Yep.
lose to the Giants is, man, our division sucks. That's what I learned this past weekend. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to recap how we did in Week 17, talk a bit of sports news. Chickenwing will give us a minority knockout update. And then we'll talk about the final week of the season, give you all the playoff clinching scenarios that are out there, and then make our picks. But since this is the last week of our pick here, we're not going to go game by game, just going to give you our final playoff predictions, who's going to make it in our playoff machine. So, looking back on Week 17, Chickenwing, Rob, DJ, and myself all went 14-2. Phil went 13-3, and Nori 12-4.
Yeah.
Standing wise, overall, Chickenwing has the lead with 185 correct picks. Phil has 179. I have 178. Rob and DJ are tied with 176, and Nori has 163. And unfortunately, Nori, I believe that's mathematically you cannot win this, unfortunately. So sorry to say that.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
But definitely love your insight, so we'll always appreciate that when we talk about it. Chickenwing, though, we'll start with you talking about Week 17. Any picks you regret? Any surprises? What do you got?
The pick I regret was believing in the Packers defense.
Yeah.
It was obvious that Sam Darnold, as I've been told since week 1, is Warden of the North, and
Right.
it's pretty clear that he might be after this week for sure. Biggest surprise, fucking Giants. I can't even tank right, bro. Like I just I just can't.
Look at my
I had hopes in the Colts, but nope. Apparently, I was lied to myself. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Everything
the sad
else.
part was, and not to cut you off, but the sad part was the Colts were actually trying. I don't.
I
don't-
know.
They made Drew Lock look like a god. Okay, that's what they did. They made Drew fucking Lock look like a god on that field. I don't understand. That's just wild to me.
It's yeah. I'll get to it when it's my turn. Rob.
I regret trusting New Orleans to do anything good in my
Yeah.
life. Like,
I agree.
hell? Like, Las Vegas is supposed to be tanking too.
I know.
Nah.
I know.
The two teams that were supposed to tank and lose didn't tank and lose. Like, what?
This race for the bottom has to be more intriguing than the playoff race. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. So
Yeah, there's a lot of bad teams this year.
yeah,
Thought we had this in the bag.
yeah.
You know what? To be fair, Rob. To be fair, two of the other teams were pitted against each other, so we had no choice but to hope and pray that the Titans Jags ended in a tie. Just saying. Saying.
With the weather,
I only
good shit,
I only went
so.
I only went with Jacksonville because of heads. That's it.
That's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
DJ, your thoughts on week?
Thank you, Siri, by the way.
Shit. I don't. I don't know who told Drew Lock to cook, but they made a mistake. They shouldn't have told him to cook.
You know,
So,
the funny thing is, he was probably trying to throw a pick six, and like Malik Neighbors just came up with it. Like,
Yeah.
That's fair, but
That's fair.
no regrets. I'm actually going to hit a bigger surprise. The Texans put up 2 points.
Yeah.
Only two.
That's not
Game.
surprising. The
2
Texans
points.
choking.
And they ended the game with 2 points. I picked the Ravens to win, and I'm not surprised that they did, but 2 points?
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be a playoff team. But you managed 2 points at home.
I mean,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I know.
The greatest concert ever.
It wasn't. Please stop. Please
Sorry.
don't do that.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's all I got. The trash bowl, Seahawks versus Bears. That was beautiful. 6-3. It was a wonderful game.
They scored more than the Texans.
That's true. Both teams scored more than the Texans. When you think
But
about
they
it.
scored less than the Niners Rams, so I am okay with that for a Thursday night blunder.
Yeah.
Ha!
Yes, but look, that Detroit and Niners game, that actually was good. I enjoyed watching that.
I didn't.
And
Okay.
the Niners ran it, which is why I'm really surprised they enjoyed. I enjoyed watching it, but I did.
Where was this team 7 weeks ago? That's what I was asking. Oh shit! All season. Whatever.
Hurt,
Yeah.
injured.
They still hurt, and they were just like,
Yeah,
well,
they were-
Detroit has no defense, so let's go.
Yeah. Bone marrow offense. We still put up 28 points, right? 28? No, 34.
34.
Mhm. That's right. I remember.
No regrets on my picks. I definitely never regret taking the Titans over the Jags. It's just that game was horrible, and I kind of wished for a tie the way that was being played, but fuck it. I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah, like Nori said, the Colts were actually trying and still lost to the Giants. Who knew they could put that many points? I'm curious to know how many people lost their fantasy championship because they put Nablers on the bench thinking, yeah, the Giants are bad. They're tanking. There's no way they're going to throw to Nablers, and he just went off. You know?
Yep.
So, but I learned definitely watching all this. Yeah, our division sucks. It's horrible. You know, Houston's just going to win it by default, I guess, and probably get smoked in the first round again. So,
Yeah.
I think the biggest surprise for me is, though, how night and day Joe Flacco has been. Last year, amazing. This year, horrible. So,
Yeah.
if I have any regret, it's actually not picking the Giants when I realized that Joe Flacco was going to start for the Colts. But, yeah, what can you do?
I want to know how many people lost their survival league off of the Giants and
With 1 week to
and
go.
the Raiders. Yeah, with 1 week to go.
Yes.
You right.
Because you
Right.
know someone had to pick that game because every other team's been picked already.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
like,
You right.
bro,
I
that's
can't even be mad at that. You 100% right on that one. How about that Commanders game? That was an
Atlanta?
entertaining
That was a
game to
game.
watch.
That was a game.
Yes.
For sure was a game. Yeah. So, all right, Nori, your thoughts on the week?
I shockingly have no regrets, to be honest with you. I had some, some upsets, whatever, that I thought would happen that didn't happen. I admit that I cannot get a feel for the season. I've never done this bad in picks, so I don't even regret picking the Colts because, they're trying. The Giants are actually trying to tank. I have regret the result. I don't regret picking them. So
I was shocked you actually picked the Bears because earlier this season you were like, "There's just this team is trash. There's no way I can pick them again," and you picked them over Seattle. So granted,
I honestly thought Seattle was playing bad enough to where Chicago's going to sneak one in and surprise us because I still can't believe the talent they have at wide receiver core, and they're not winning. I don't get it, but
It's
whatever.
fingernails, bro. That's all it is.
that David Montgomery guy was pretty good.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Get out."
Like, go to Detroit, and he's like, okay.
yeah, I mean, we've been saying it for a few years now. Like, Chicago is just a bad organization, and we thought maybe with the Caleb Williams job, okay, they're turning things around, looking pretty good early, but no, it's more of the same old stuff. So, yeah. So,
Curious question for all you fellas: Who? It's weird how I'm going to phrase this question, but who has found their QB? Carolina or Washington?
Carolina.
Washington.
Like if you had to put one over the other, I know that
Carolina.
they're both good,
Washington.
but
I would take
Carolina.
Jay Daniels over Bryce Young right now. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Without
Well, that's not the question. Well, that's not the question.
But that wasn't the question. The question was Carolina
Who's found the
or
quarterback?
Chicago.
He actually asked, who found the quarterback? The answer is yes.
okay.
Not which one's better. If it's better, then that's a
Yeah.
more debatable question.
Yeah.
They both found the franchise quarterback, so.
I think Caleb Williams was really
fair.
Fair, I guess.
I think with the situation having to be benched for Bryce Young, and then realizing where he's about to lose his job, he was like, "Oh shit! I got to play for real," and he got it down. I think had it not been that situation, I would have put Carolina over Washington, for sure.
Yeah, but credit to the coaching staff for realizing that.
Yeah,
maybe
for
Bryce
sure.
realized,
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I need to get humbled a bit to realize, okay, I really got to start stepping up my game, and that's helped. I think in Caleb Williams, it's not really on him; it's his situation he's in.
Yeah,
That organization
100%.
needs a lot of work, and
100%.
he looks a lot like Bryce Young did last year. So, and if that's any indication, maybe his next year will be better. So.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's just as long as there's no Call of Duty coming out there, I don't think he's doomed to existence like other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
pointing it out there.
The Call of Duty guy got sponsored.
That's true.
I mean, at least
Can't hate that much. We could still hate.
Uh,
So,
I would take him in a heartbeat. He's a pretty good quarterback.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about Week 18. We'll talk about the clinching scenarios and how much more intriguing the race to the bottom is versus the race to the playoffs. So, on the college football side of things, the quarterfinals officially wrapped up earlier today with the postponed Sugar Bowl. And advancing to the semis, Penn State, Texas, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. None of the top 4 seeds who got the bye advanced. So
love it.
every
love it.
single team that had won their first round game, moved on. Penn State, shit, I forget who they
Penn State over Boise.
Yeah, Boise State, who put up a fight. I credit Boise State. They hung with theirs with the end, but that Penn State defense just suffocated them. Texas won a game that gave me 3 or 4 heart attacks. I lost count.
Agreed.
Yeah. And that was a hell of a game, though, that Peach Bowl. Ohio State just put a thrashing on Oregon in the Rose Bowl. And following it up, Notre Dame put a thrashing on Georgia. You can tell Georgia was definitely missing Carson Beck, who is going to be leaving for the NFL officially after he recovers from
was-
that injury. So
I mean,
Fourth round
let's be
pick.
honest. Like
Yeah.
that wasn't the same Georgia team. Like they're missing 10 of their starters.
yeah, and a lot of injuries as well, for sure.
So
Notre Dame looks great. Ohio State looks. Everyone's starting to think they're the pick. Texas, Jesus, they got to play better. They squeak one by. Cam Scatterboo is a freaking beast, and surprisingly, the
man.
only team that shut him down this season was Texas State. If you go back and look
Yeah.
at those stats, so
That's crazy.
yeah. Which, by the way, to be honest with you, I told my wife after they beat UTSA, I said your Bobcats are going to be in the playoff if they don't choke their season away. And then they choked their season away in conference.
And then they,
So, yeah.
and then they did exactly that.
Yeah.
Choke away.
Yeah.
Speaking of Scatterboo,
yeah.
do you think he deserved the MVP title?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God!
Absolutely.
Did you see that game?
Easily.
Yes.
Ran for a touchdown, 2-point conversion,
He
threw up
for a
on the sideline,
touchdown.
then threw a touchdown. You know, like, dude was just that touchdown pass sparked that comeback.
man.
And then it doesn't help that Burt Auburn missed 2 field goals.
Right.
Yeah, you know, like I was jokingly telling, I was watching with some friends, and when he was coming to kick that second one that he ended up hitting wide left, and Sark was talking to him, I was like, okay, Sark's telling him right now if he misses this kick, he's losing his scholarship. They're leaving him in Georgia. Don't bother coming on the team plane. Like, you're done, you know? And then he missed it. I was like, yeah, that pep talk didn't work.
Accurate.
So, you know, luckily Quinn Ewers, his experience, that 4th and 13, and then following up with a touchdown immediately after on the next play. Wow. So
Yeah. That was one of the heart attacks, by the way. 4th and 13, that was another heart attack.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely a heart attack.
Oh, but the defense stepped up. I mean, these last few games, the defense has really bailed the horns out. That interception, those goal line stands. amazing.
Goal line stands, man.
So Penn State will face Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl this coming Thursday, January 9th. And Texas and Ohio State will face off in the Cotton Bowl on January 10th. The winner of each of those games will head to the national championship on January 20th. So, to be honest with you right now, I have a feeling it is going to be Texas and Notre Dame is my pick right now.
Same here.
Yeah.
Really? Notre Dame over Penn State?
That said, That said, do you guys? There's been a lot of talk about the playoff. Everyone whining about Oregon having to face Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. In my head, what the fuck are you whining about? If you're so good, just win.
Right.
But a lot of talk is like, should conference champions have the top 4 seeds? And personally, I'm fine with the way it is. I think it's great. It puts emphasis on winning your conference championship.
True.
But I'm curious to know if you guys agree.
I agree.
So I agree with that, but I'm just going to throw something out there because I haven't read this yet, but I was just kind of thinking about it. With exception to Arizona State, because it didn't look like they were rusty in the second half. But every other game, Notre Dame 23-10, Penn State 31-14, Ohio State 41-21. So basically, the teams that had a first round bye came out, were rusty, and got destroyed. So I'm wondering maybe if that bye week hurt these other teams. I mean, we have not seen Oregon play like that. We didn't see Georgia play that bad the whole season.
No.
Nah.
10 points in the whole game? That's
Nah.
crazy.
Mm-mm.
So
I think one of them was called back because of a sideline interference. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
that kid's not playing on that football team ever again. Not again.
I mean, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
You
Not
ain't,
again.
You ain't. But correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it in a few years they're going to expand it to 16 later
That's
on?
the rumor, but it's not official. Right now,
Yeah.
it's sticking with 12.
Okay, and the reason why I asked that is because if that's the case, then wouldn't that take away the bye?
It would take away the bye, and it would allow the top seeds to host a first-round game on campus, which is great, by the way. I think that's so far been one of my favorite parts of the playoff is seeing playoff games on campus, which you see in FCS all the time. So.
And of course, you're going to see it in the NFL. So, like, you might as well just get the kids ready for that too.
Yeah.
That type of environment.
So there is that option too. Yeah. So
Interesting.
I like what they've done so far. I like the playoff, and I really love the fact that we have more college football.
I love not seeing Bama.
That too.
I also
Yeah, I
love
was
that.
going to
Oh,
say that,
yeah.
but Rob beat me to it. So yes, not seeing Bama in there.
Speaking of which, I love how quiet the Crimson Tide fans are now, including one Paul
Yeah.
Finebaum, who waved the white flag. Yeah, all you
that
assholes
guy.
sitting there saying Bama deserved to be in the playoff.
Couldn't even beat
Yeah.
Tennessee,
You couldn't even beat Michigan again.
bro.
You started 2024 losing to Michigan on a fourth down stop, and you ended 2024 losing to Michigan on another
Michigan
fourth
on
down
a
stop.
fourth down
So,
stop.
Great.
yeah.
Great. 2024 was the greatest year of college football fandom ever.
Yeah.
was
All,
great.
If you hate Alabama, if you
all
hate
you
Alabama,
Bama fans sitting there
If you
saying they
hate
should have
Bama,
been
then,
in,
yeah.
straight the schedule, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. SMU deserved to get in over that. You can say what they want about them losing to Penn State. Whatever. It happens. Like first round games are usually blowouts. Do you watch the men's basketball tournament? It happens a lot. You know, in the future years, the games might be closer, but SMU earned a spot. You know, Bama, you didn't earn a spot. You lost to OU and Norman and only scored 3 points. So I don't want to hear that shit anymore. Y'all just
And
stay
OU
quiet.
still sucks, by the way.
Yes,
Just
they
wanna
do.
remind you.
Exactly.
And apparently, Bama sucks worse.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Yeah,
But Bama sucks even more. So
Yeah. yeah. Let's see here. So yeah, this playoff has been great. More college football, like you said. Obviously, the Sugar Bowl had a little bit of issue hanging over with the terrorist attack in New Orleans. Sad story. New Orleans is resilient. They'll recover from it. But man, credit to the officials beefing up security, handling everything the right way. It was the right call to postpone it a day, and I'm glad everyone got out of there safe, at least to the game, because there was a big security window hanging over the Superdome, being that it's like pretty much right down there on Bourbon Street. So,
Yep.
let's see. Any other news I'm missing, guys? Any other major news? I'm sure all the news next week will be about all the coaches getting fired in the NFL, but we'll talk about that later.
yeah, I'm sorry until Monday.
looking forward to that.
I'm
Not that I want to
only
lose
couple
the jobs, but I want something around.
Yeah.
So
only a couple of us watch basketball, but Jimmy Butler is pretty much verbally saying he'll have to be traded.
Yeah, and that's
So
not
that's
going to
good
happen. By the way, shout out to Wemby and the Spurs for putting a thrashing on James Harden and the Clippers. I loved watching every minute of that on New Year's Eve. That was
every
fun.
time the Clippers lose, an angel gets its wings.
Yes.
Just so y'all know.
Yeah. So
I knew
I
that.
hope James Harden for the final 2 years of his career comes to the Spurs.
fuck you. No way.
Why? Why would you wish that on anybody?
Yeah. Why would you
You're
do
wrong.
that? So no.
Because you guys act like he's like some evil entity. Like he's not.
He is.
He plays a lot of iso ball. No, he's not.
Yeah.
He
doesn't
plays
play
iso ball.
defense.
Like a
He doesn't
bad
play
defense.
shit for defense. Yeah.
To answer your question, JC, the only other news that was recent was Greg Gumbel, fortunately, had passed.
Yes. Legendary announcer and sports commentator. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Way to bring down the mood. Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
Yeah, you know. Well,
I know, right?
Good
you did it.
job.
Way to go,
Way to
Alex.
go, Mike.
You said it. Seriously. You
I
fucked it up.
did.
Yeah.
I fucked it up. Oh, well.
Yeah. All right. Well, Chicken Wing, since you brought the mood down, let's bring it back up here. Talk about Minority Knockout. What are we sitting at right now? So
Cool. So over the past weekend, after all the numbers have been tallied, the drunken Master Phil has been knocked and kicked to the curb. However, the losers are not going to influence this week. Sorry, Phil. You missed out. Should have lost earlier. So now it's just down to me and JC. JC is trying to take $20 from me, and I'm just trying to defend it as much as possible because I'm broke. Oh, I'm
this
just
is
kidding.
like win Ben Stein's money kind of thing, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So pretty much the final round is as simple as what we're doing. So this week, since we are just giving out our final predictions for our bracket, no actual games being given or picked, we are going to use that as our score system. So it's essentially 14 total points up for grabs. Because the reason why I'm saying 14 is because you're guessing the team and the seed that they land in. So that's it.
Ooh.
All right.
And so the tiebreaker is we go back to the weekly correct picks. And if we happen to be tied there too, which would be funny, Then we go to the tiebreaker system that Yahoo gives, and eventually it's either JC gets $20 or I say you're trash.
Yeah.
So that's it for me.
You're still trash, bro. Either way. That's right.
Ah,
All right.
So,
Y'all don't deserve me.
real quick,
that's okay.
sure. What do y'all think about Saquon resting the last game of the season and not going for the single season
You know,
rushing record?
it's making me.
You know what? It's fine.
It's making me hard to hate him.
What, Nori? What was that?
It's making me hard to hate him. I don't appreciate that. He's
It's
thinking about.
a
He's thinking
smart
about
play.
the first.
I mean, yeah, nothing Philly
it's
can do to
brilliant.
move him from the 2 spot. So they don't.
He wants. He wants a title. He wants a title, not an individual record. Like 99% of the athletes would say, I'm getting that record." Like that's crazy.
You know what's funny is if he really wants it, he can get it next year.
Yeah,
Put
plus,
those numbers next year.
even if he were to break it, everyone's going to sit there and say, "Well, you didn't really break
You got
your
an extra
ridiculous record
week.
because you had an extra week." Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know, and everyone's going to put an asterisk on it just because of that, much in the same way they put 61 asterisks on Roger Maris when he broke Babe Ruth's single-season home run record. You know, well, he had.
And
more
as
games.
much as they put an asterisk as the Houston Astros
Oh,
World
you
Series,
douchebag. Fuck you. All right, so whatever.
all right,
Yeah.
just had to bring.
I
that
mean,
Yeah.
back.
if we're gonna put an asterisk there, I mean, if we're being honest, O.J. Simpson broke it in 14 weeks.
That is true.
So
Right, that's why Derek Fisher needs to pipe down about. Oh, I did it in less games. Yes, so did OG, sweetie.
yeah,
So
Yeah, but
O.J.
we're really
didn't
going to
play
bring
14
OJ
games,
Simpson
he
into
did
this right
15.
now, given his history. So, you know.
I mean, we don't.
No,
have to stick
we're
for
saying
context.
OJ as the
Oh,
player.
listen,
We
OG
don't-
did murder the.
Exactly.
Sir, he was acquitted from all those charges. I have no idea what you were referring
Listen,
to.
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't fit.
I don't know about OJ murdering people, but I know he at least murdered some defensive linemen. So
That's true.
Absolutely.
And he was a staple in those Naked Gun movies. God, he was so hilarious. You know, one of those. Yeah. So.
What
Yeah,
he
unless-
did
unless
on
they
the
got whatever.
I
field.
miss those.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, Nori, we got another movie we need to add to the movie list.
All 3
Gotta watch-
Naked Gun movies.
You gotta
Oh,
watch
yeah.
all three. Yeah, we gotta watch all three.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What he did on the field is all we're talking about. Outside of that, I have no comment.
I mean, he may have done that on the field too, but
Okay.
On no
who is
comment.
the worst athlete we can talk about as a taboo? I guess you can say.
Aaron
O.J.
Hernandez.
Simpson, Aaron Hernandez, or Chris Benoit.
Oh,
Chris
Worst
Benoit.
person?
Wait,
Just
Benoit.
cannot mention them like
Nobody beats Chris. Nobody beats
Yeah,
Chris
we-
Benoit.
Yeah, I
Chris
mean,
Benoit.
Yeah.
Nah.
You killed his
Yeah.
family. Yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Benoit.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm not comfortable talking about it.
Yeah, I know.
No.
It's horrible. So
you're right.
heck
You're
yeah.
right. Chris
That's how bad
Benoit
it
is.
Okay, on to other.
All right. On to week 18. And as I mentioned, we are just going to be picking our playoff machine.
Playoffs?
Let me give you the rundown of games after the NFL completed the flex. Here's where it stands right now. Basically, Saturday is entirely AFC North. So this is all, we'll call it Hard Knocks Saturday, if you will. Cleveland at Baltimore and Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Both games on ESPN. Baltimore favored by 20. That's not a typo, guys. And Cincinnati favored by 2.5.
That's cool.
Sunday
That's
early games is
hilarious.
Carolina at Atlanta, Washington at Dallas, Chicago at Green Bay, Houston at Tennessee, Jacksonville at Indy, Buffalo at New England, Giants at Philly, and Saints at Tampa. Sunday late afternoon is Kansas City at Denver, Chargers at Raiders, Seahawks at Rams, Dolphins at Jets, Niners at Cards, and this Sunday night game, winner gets the top seed in the NFC, loser gets the 5 seed, Minnesota at Detroit. Wild.
That's
So,
Mm.
yeah.
The NFC goes through the North, regardless.
Sure does.
Mhm.
So what are the scenarios here? What we know is that Kansas City is locked into the 1 seed on the AFC side. Buffalo is locked into the 2 seed. And Houston is locked into the 4 seed.
That's 3 free points
Yeah.
for me and JC.
So, right? Baltimore, if they win, clinch the AFC North, or if Pittsburgh loses. If Baltimore loses, Pittsburgh wins. The Steelers get the AFC North and the 3 seed. And the loser potentially could fall to the 5 seed, right? No. Yeah, 5 seed. or 6 seed, I should say. Depends how it goes on with the Chargers, whether they win or not. They're in the playoffs, but could potentially get a 7 seed. The Broncos have pretty much control their own destiny for the last seed. They beat Kansas City, they get the 7 seed. If they lose and Miami wins, Miami gets it. If Cincinnati needs Miami and Denver to lose and to beat Pittsburgh in order to get the last playoff spot. On the NFC side of things, again, we already mentioned Detroit and Minnesota. I think this is the first time in history there's been 2 14-win teams in one division, by the way. That's never happened before. So, Eagles are locked into the 2 seed. No matter what happens, they stay there. Rams are at the 3 seed, right? There's no way they can.
Yeah,
No, they're
locked
4.
in.
They can jump to 3.
No, they're in 3, but they can drop to 4
no, they're
if
in
Tampa wins.
3,
Right?
they
That's
can
not what it
drop.
is?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my completed bracket, so my bad.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, now we know what. No,
Now we
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks-
Thank you.
thanks,
Appreciate
Mike.
that. All right. Tampa, if they win and they're in, they clinch the NFC South and get the 4 seed, almost the 3 seed if the Rams lose.
Mhm.
If the Bucks lose and the Falcons win, the Falcons will take the 4 seed
we're seeing.
for the NFC side of things.
That's funny.
We mentioned the loser of Detroit and Minnesota gets the 5 seed. Washington and the Green Bay Packers are battling it out for the 6 and 7 seed. If Washington wins, they clinch that, and there's nothing Green Bay can do about it. So that's where the playoff implications sit. Reverse that for the worst pick in the NFL draft. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Titans are number 1.
The
I don't even know.
Titans.
It's Titans, Giants, Patriots, and Browns, right? They're 3 and 13. So,
Lest I.
huh?
Lest I.
Yeah. 4-way tie for the worst record, and obviously everyone's talking about Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward. The funny part is in the
Travis
Titan
Hunter.
circles of things, they're already pushing. Some people are thinking they're going to sign Kirk Cousins. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers, as he potentially played his last game in the NFL this coming weekend. Who knows? We'll
Hopefully.
see.
He's going straight to the Giants.
So, JC, just to give you a heads up, the top 10 is in this order: Pats, Titans, Browns, Giants, Jags, Panthers, Jets, Raiders, Bears, Saints.
That's a whole lot of garbage.
Yeah.
Oh no! The funniest part: San Francisco's at number 11. We are actually ahead of Dallas according to our draft order. So we are actually worse than Dallas
You have
this
one
year.
less win. Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of fantastic.
That's fucking pathetic.
Fuck y'all.
Can't beat them.
Damn. I'm
Sorry.
And then to add to your predictions, but on the flip side of it, for the Chargers to clinch 5, they have to beat the Raiders or tie, and the Steelers lose to the Bengals. That's one scenario. Or they beat the Raiders and the Steelers tie the Raiders. That's how they get number 5.
The Steelers tie the
The Bengals.
Bengals.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eagles.
All right. Why is it always at the end of the season the Chargers depend on a tie for something?
That's the best part.
Right? Yeah.
Because the Chargers. That's why.
It's the LA away team, so they need to have that outlier somewhere.
You gotta keep it canon.
All right. Well, that being said, here we go. Starting with Chickenwing, you are going to give us your final playoff machine. Now, we're not going pick by pick on here. At your own discretion, you reveal whatever games you pick, one of the 16 individual games. All you're giving us right now is your final playoff machine.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna give it to you now. I was actually gonna paste it in the chat so y'all can see it. All right, here we go. So I have obviously the Chiefs at number 1 for obvious reasons. I'm having Miami going to Buffalo again for a wild card game. I'm having Los Angeles going to Baltimore, and Pittsburgh going to Houston. So 7-2, 6-3, 5-4. On the NFC side, I have Detroit cleaning and claiming number 1. And so Green Bay will go to Philly. Washington will go to LA. And Minnesota will fly south for Tampa.
Okay.
All right, Rob, you're up next.
Are we doing the real one or the chaos one?
The real one. We'll save the
Real
chaos
one, ho.
That's
Okay.
yeah, so chaos.
The real
This
one,
guy.
we have the Chiefs at number 1, obviously. I've got Miami and going down or flying up to Buffalo. I've got Pittsburgh and Baltimore going at it again, and LA away team into the Houston Broken People.
Shit, they might get a win there. Watch out.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Right?
On the other side, we've
Quarterfinal.
got the Detroit Kitty Cats taking number 1 spot. Green Bay Fudgepackers at the Philadelphia Bird People. Washington into the LA home team, and then the Minnesota Vikings into the Tampa team that no one talks about because fuck that guy.
I was really thought you were gonna put Atlanta there, but all right.
He's a hero. Look at that.
I'm just gonna say Tampa won me the fantasy league, so I'm not good.
Oh, so now he gets the credit. Oh, because
No,
you
you
know
said
what?
Tampa won
Fuck
it, not
off,
Baker
Rod.
Mayfield. So
I'm gonna let them slide.
Nah,
Yeah, defense.
fuck
Yeah.
off.
So
Whatever.
You can't hate Papa Baker. You can't.
No, I hate Papa Baker, but he did throw me 2 touchdowns. So
I don't care.
on
No,
Tampa.
no, fuck off. No.
But Baker on Tampa has been fantastic. Like the OU Baker didn't even exist. You can't say it.
all right.
Did he win us a Super Bowl? Go ahead and say it, Rob.
Y'all sit there and say his hatred for Baker's worse than my hatred for James Harden. Yeah. Okay.
No. He's still trash. It's still. Let's not get that twisted. I said the Tampa
Jesus.
team scored me some touchdowns. I don't give a damn about Baker Mayfield. All
All
right.
right.
All right.
DJ, what about you?
All right. So we got Kansas City, number 1 seed, of course. I've got Denver going to Buffalo.
Okay.
I've got Pittsburgh going to Baltimore. And then I've got Chargers going to take on what's left of the Texans.
Okay.
NFC side of things, we got Detroit, number 1. We got Green Bay going to Philly to hopefully stomp them.
Bro.
We got Washington going to the Rams. And Minnesota going to see Baker Mayfield. Oh, and the Buccaneers.
Oh, those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. For me, obviously KC's number 1. I've got Denver going to Buffalo. I've got the Chargers going to Baltimore. And I've got the Steelers heading into Houston to take on CJ Stroud, Arlovsky, and the Texans. On the NFC side of things, Detroit, number 1. Green Bay going to Philly. Washington going to LA to take on the Rams. And Minnesota heading over to Tampa.
Holy
to take on the
shit.
Bucks. Yeah.
Wow. How did y'all believe in Tampa? Crazy.
All of us are fucking mirrored
Yeah.
on the NFC side.
Yeah, well,
Now, Nori, what about you?
Let me get mine up.
Okay.
I have I have Kansas City number 1. Denver going to Buffalo 7th to 2. I have the Chargers at 6 going to 3 seed Baltimore. I have 5th seed Pittsburgh going to 4th seed Houston. What else? Now Detroit I have as number 1. Actually, no. No, they're not allowed. Hold on.
Okay.
My ESPN refreshed and I forgot to save the picture. My bad, fellas. Sorry.
Okay.
Let me start over. Kansas City number 1. Denver is going to Buffalo number 2.
Mhm.
Pittsburgh, the 6th seed, is going to Baltimore. And the Chargers and the 5th seed are going to Houston. I have the Titans winning because the Texans are all the receivers died. So I don't even think they could win any more games. Let's see. Minnesota I have as number 1. Detroit is really hurt. I think it'll be a close game, but it's close to hurt. I don't think they can beat. I don't think they can beat any teams anymore. Um, Green Bay at 7, going to Philadelphia at 2. I have Washington 6 going to the Ravens at 3rd, and I have Detroit going to Tampa Bay.
All right.
Wow.
Obviously, we don't know what Phil's sets are, and the craziest part of this, we have an idea of what everyone's picking just on the playoff ready games. We don't know about everything else. You know, Carolina, Atlanta, God knows what. You know, who cares about Jacksonville and Indy? You know, those are the ones that are going to be deciding potentially who walks away with all the correct picks here at the end. So that's the struggle with this one here. So, all right, very cool, guys. So that's where we're set. Those are our playoff machines there. And again, once again, on Yahoo's side, you have until the first game on Saturday, which I believe is at 3:30 Eastern time, to change any picks you have. So, but
I mean, the chaos one isn't even that chaotic when you think about
well,
it.
let's hear what that chaos one is. Let's hear it. So, you know.
Oh, well, I mean, to divide it up.
Yeah.
We have number 1 seed Kansas City, number 7th seed Denver going into Buffalo, 6th seed LA into 3rd seed Pittsburgh, and the 5th seed Baltimore Ravens going into the 4th seed Houston Texans.
You don't have Joe in this chaos scenario?
No, because reasons. On the other side, like I said, I am a Minnesota fan this week,
Wow.
so they'll be taking the number 1 seed. The 7th seed Washington Commanders into the Philadelphia Eagles. The 6th seed Green Bay Packers into the LA home team. And the 5th seed Detroit Lions going into the fuck you Tampa Bay Atlanta Falcons in the 4th seed.
Tampa Bay, Atlanta Falcons. So both teams are just going to combine.
No, it's just a big fuck you to Tampa Bay because Atlanta's taking it. So,
Okay.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Wild.
So, and so my magic number this week is 10. 10 gives me the win. Because fuck you.
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
I've already
is that
won
right?
one.
Yeah, I've already lost. I don't care.
Yeah. So
I
no,
won the
10,
fantasy league,
10
I'm
will
happy.
give you a tie. I think you need 11 to clinch, right? Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I'm 6 ahead. So you're
Yeah.
right.
You need
I need
11 to
11 to win.
clinch, 10 to tie for first, but then it goes to the Yahoo tiebreakers. You get 11 correct, you clinch. So that's your magic number on this. So if you get less than 11, all hell's going to fucking break out.
All right, dude. Phil's going to be talking demo shit because he beats the Titans week 17 and he catches up and beats Mike week 18.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just so you guys know, this is completely sports minority related, but everybody should see Wicked.
But everybody what?
Huh?
Everybody should see Wicked. I said it.
Oh,
Sam,
yeah,
I hope
I
you-
saw it. It's amazing. That's a great movie. Yeah.
Right?
So, yes.
JC said it was amazing.
Everybody see Wicked?
Wicked.
I did.
Okay. All right. I'm logging off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
do that.
did see the musical on stage, honestly, and the movie did a really good job. And that's just the first half of the musical.
And that's only first half, right?
Yep.
I went in as a generational hater protesting. By the time I finished the movie, I was defying gravity.
Yes.
I was, yeah.
Look, let me just put it this way. I know all these people, oh my God, you went to see Wicked. It was like, look, yeah, I went in theaters to see one
Yeah.
Twilight movie. And just like every other guy there, we were all getting laid that night because we took our girlfriends at the time to go see Twilight. So,
Exactly. That's the secret. You do things your wife likes. That's
Yes.
that's the secret.
so,
You know.
yeah. That's all it was.
We got to teach our 6 followers this. You know.
Mm.
Yeah. Those are called life hacks. Really important life hacks.
Right.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, we have a lot of. Mike, we know you don't know that. We know.
Yeah. So,
This is way above. This conversation is way above your pay grade. Yeah.
it is.
I guess.
All right. Well, that is where we stand about week 18, the final week of the regular season. Next week, we'll see how we did. We'll recap that. We'll recap the full season. We'll declare the winners. We'll see if I take $20 from Chicken Wing. I'm pretty confident that I will. And talk a bit more about the college football playoff while we're recording next week. I believe the Orange Bowl is going to be going on, so we'll see how that happens. And then we'll look at the playoff bracket for the entire NFL playoffs and make our predictions there fill out the whole bracket and go on from there. So, thank you everybody for joining us on this week's episode of the Sports Winners Podcast, the first of 2025. Once again, I'm JC, your resident Titans fan and recovering from heart attack Longhorns fan. Joining me this week, we got
Chickenwing, resident Niners fan, joined the playoffs from home with JC, Phil, DJ, Nori, and Rob. Fuck you.
Yeah,
bitch.
Team sucked this year. That's very true, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well, except Rob bandwagon.
No. Rob's team will be one and done. Go Bucks. Go Bucks. He'll be home. That's okay.
Here's the thing. When Rob achieved the Trinity, there is no Rob losing anymore.
That's true.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's a bet. He'll convince us all that he picked the Super Bowl winner, and we'll have to believe him. It doesn't matter. He got the Trinity. It'll never happen again.
Yep.
There is no beating him. So speaking of winning, Nori, New York Giants fan, we can't even tank right. It's just I don't know. I feel like there's certain sports teams where you should be entitled to free heroin. So go Giants.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rob, the fantasy champion this year,
Yep.
and
Congrats.
current Minnesota Vikings fan, because of course at the beginning of the show. So yeah, enjoy y'all's day, and have a good one.
good evening, DJ here, Longhorns fan. All I ask, Texas, if next week when you play, if you're going to win the game, just win it. If you're not going to win it, then don't. But all these heart attacks, I can't take that shit. I will not survive if you do that to me again.
Oh,
Please, make a decision.
telling you, both of these semifinal games are going to be epic. Believe me. So yeah, they're going to be really great games. So
I need a heart monitor or something.
yeah, bro, I'm sure. Phil, wish you could have joined us. Hope you feel better. Hopefully we'll catch you next week with us. And thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Enjoy Week 18, the last week of the regular season. And we'll catch you next week and see what coaches have their jobs after all this. Take care. Thanks everyone once again for listening to the Sports Minorities Podcast. We do appreciate it. If you want to keep the conversation going, we're on Twitter at Sports Minor Pod and also on Facebook at Sports Minorities. Our YouTube channel, Sports Minorities. Search on there. We live stream every now and then, just some random stuff. And you can also reach us via email, sports.minorities@gmail.com. We do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to us, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Mike McCarthy, yay! Keep your job, please.
Relax.
Keep your job, sir.
Relax, motherfucker.
You know what I think is actually very, very cool. I meant to say this on the podcast, I forgot. You could tell immediately when a player wants a coach gone, because when they'll ask them, what do you think of their performance? They'll say, well, that's up to leadership. Well, that's up to the GM. Well, that's up to the owner, right?
Yeah.
But you could tell when they like a coach because they say, I like this, I like that, I hope they come back. So Kayvon Thibodeau said that about Dable. And I like that they're smart enough to know that Dable has done what he can within a pretty abysmal roster, minus like a few pieces. Like when we won 2 years ago against Minnesota, we had no business beating them. We had no true number one wide receiver. It was pretty crazy. So I think if he gets a quarterback, I hope he keeps GM. I hope he keeps Shane and David. I'll be sad if they don't.